call it a secret weapon. You want a secret weapon to getting big and jacked and having good training sessions, this is it. Just like a chocolate milkshake. It's exactly like a chocolate milkshake. And that's one way to get bigger and stronger, is just to get bigger and stronger. Another way to really help with that is to improve the way that you move. If you can improve your technique, become more efficient, you're gonna have a much easier time getting bigger and stronger. That's a deep burn, baby. Me. And welcome back to your mum's favorite cooking show on YouTube, Cult Strength. Not really though, but you are in for a bit of a treat. Now, it is deadlift day, my absolute favorite day of the week. You should know that by now. But a little bonus for today, I'm going to show you a shake that I like to have, before a lot of training sessions. That is, I find really useful for building muscle and having a quality training session without being too heavy, because there's not too much volume, right? It's quite dense in calories, contains a lot of protein and a lot of carbohydrates, a little bit of fat, but not too much. But this is something that I like to have typically before a deadlift session. I do like a smoothie, but I wouldn't say it's a smoothie. It's definitely more of a treat. Tastes like more of a treat. It's a protein. Call it a protein shake. But yeah, it's definitely good on deadlift day for me, because you're bending down, getting uncomfortable deadlifting, all that shit, and you're working hard. The last thing you want is to have a belly full of food that you're still trying to digest, and that's just not cool. So I'm going to show you this is my secret weapon. Call it a secret weapon. You want a secret weapon to getting big and jacked and having good training sessions, this is it. I mean, you can eat a lot of things that are going to be really good, but for me, fucking awesome. And we'll also talk about this new pre-workout that I've been sent as well from Hercules Supplements. We'll chat about that soon, but I'm really excited. It's a new formula, and I'm keen to give it a try. I have not tried it yet. First, smoothie time. Now, I like eggs. Eggs always make me feel good. They give me energy. Something about them, right? Definitely a superfood, if you know what I'm saying. So I go 3 eggs, crack 3 whole eggs into me little cup. Wonder if I would do a good cooking show, though. I can't cook that well. A few things I cook alright, but I wouldn't say I'm a chef by any means. But no, I don't think anyone would watch that. It's hard enough to get people watching me lift weights, and I think I'm pretty good at that, but that's for you to decide, maybe. I am funny and handsome, though. I'll give you that. You can't take that away from me. There's no fucking way in the world. 3 eggs, 2 packs of quick oats, or about 70 grams of oats. So we'll chuck those in there as well. Carbohydrates, baby, and it just gives the shake a bit of texture, a bit of volume. Texture and volume are important sometimes. Well, not really important, but I don't know. I like to enjoy what I eat most of the time, right? I mean, why not try and fucking enjoy it? But if you don't really want to enjoy your food, that's fine. You can just have your chicken and rice and broccoli. That sounds kind of lame. Protein, chocolate protein powder. I go 45 grams worth of protein. These are just a small scoop, so it's 3 scoops of this, but it equates to 45 grams, so like 1.5 servings of your typical protein powder. Alright, that's a nice little boost of protein as well. And the macros for this entire thing, I'll go over in a minute. But it's really good. Simple, man. Nutrition should be simple. It is pretty fucking simple, you know what I'm saying? So we've got our eggs, we've got our protein powder. We're going to put 300 mils of milk. Little measuring thing on the side here, so roughly 300 mils. Alright. But one more thing, probably one of the most important things would be, that's right, chocolate ice cream. Now, oh, but ice cream's bad for you. You shouldn't have ice cream. Well, guess what? Watch me. Fucking watch me. You see this? I built this body. And ice cream is definitely involved. So we're going to put a fair bit of ice cream in there. About 150 grams. This is like for flavor and texture as well. It gives it like that thick shake taste, and that's fucking important if you ask me. Abso-fucking-lutely. Alright, and now we're going to quickly put this in the blender. Give me a second, and then we're going to consume. Let's go. Alright, now that is complete, and it looks, oh yeah, it looks good, baby. It looks good. Just like a chocolate milkshake. It's exactly like a chocolate milkshake. Very good. So yeah, now, you know, with my deadlift session today, it's we're not going crazy heavy today. You know, something that I've looked back upon it and sort of realized in the long run is that I definitely sabotage myself by deadlifting too heavy too often. Now I have a competition coming up in 8 weeks time. This is a practice competition for me to get me back on the platform and get into that rhythm of competing again as I, you know, look to qualify for next year's Giants Live World Deadlift Championship. And, you know, it's given me an opportunity to have a different approach. And when you're lifting heavy, because let's talk about it, right? The goal is to go well over 400 kilograms. And, you know, a lot of the deadlifting that I'm doing, you know, on a heavy deadlifting program is generally upwards of 700 pounds, okay, at a minimum. Once we get, you know, further down the program, we're hitting, you know, near 800 pounds every single week in training. We're deadlifting that or heavier. Now, you can't really do that back to back to back, week after week, without problems. And problems I have had, you know, when it comes to, obviously, you know, trying to progress my deadlift, because you get to a point and you're in simply too much pain to continue getting stronger. Every week you get to those heavy sessions and you just have not recovered. Your body's still beat up and it only gets worse. So my approach going into this is heavy pulls once a fortnight. And every second week in between is going to be, for now, a deadlift variation. So you'll be deficit deadlifting, sets of 5, RPE 6 to 7, with full intent and focus on technique and movement, and setting myself up to be fresh and ready to pull really heavy the next week. And that'll be a low volume, high intensity session, right? That'll be the heavy work, but only once a fortnight. That's going to be really important if I want to qualify for this competition and pull 1,000 pounds, right? It's got to happen. You know, it just is what it is. I look at the best deadlifters in the world. None of them deadlift heavy every week. Maybe once a fortnight. Some of them even once every 3 weeks or 4 weeks, to be honest with you, right? Because that is how taxing the deadlift can be at that level. And a lot of people don't understand that. There's a massive difference between pulling 220 kilos, which is not a bad deadlift, don't get me wrong, and pulling 400 kilos, right? The effect that it has on the body it's not even the same. It's a different beast altogether. And it's not relative. It's not like, yeah, but that's your max, that's my max. Absolutely not, sir. That's not how it works in this situation. So it's going to take some discipline from me. But again, you know, I'm here to show you my training as I try to achieve what I'm trying to achieve, which is big, right? That's a big competition to qualify for. And then to get there and attempt 1,000 pounds, that's going to be big. Obviously, you know, I'm going to have to learn how to use a deadlifting suit, which I'm going to have to look to get one in the next couple months. So you'll see my journey with that as well, me learning how to utilize this suit as a tool that it is, because it doesn't just happen overnight. You just don't put it on and you're 40 kilos stronger. It's very uncomfortable. You have to get used to it. So, yeah, I'm excited to have you guys here and I hope you enjoy this deadlift session. But just to finish off on this shake, right? The macros we have here. This shake is 81 grams of protein, right? That's a big chunk of your daily protein for a lot of people. 105 grams carbohydrates. Fantastic. As I said, that's going to give me a good amount of energy. And, you know, it's not just sugar, right? There is different kinds of carbohydrates in here, so it's not just a fast release, because it is 2 hours before I train, so, you know, it needs to give me energy up until I train, and then I'll start sipping on some carbs during the session as well. But this is a, you know, good fuel for that session, so that I can push that session, even though it's not a crazy heavy session. With the deadlifting, the accessory work afterwards does require a lot of intensity still. It's less taxing on the neural system, meaning we can attack that stuff a lot harder with the emphasis and our intensity towards the actual accessories themselves, right? We're pushing them really hard. And 20 grams of fat, so 925 calories roughly, so nearly 1,000 calories, a couple hours before I train. And it's not really heavy, so it's not like, I know it's probably about 700 mils, right? But it's not that heavy, and in 2 hours time I'll be good to go. And then when we get to the gym, we're going to talk more about this Energy of the Gods, the ultimate high stim pre-workout from Hercules Sup. So I'm definitely keen to give these a try. I'm going to try the grape flavor though. I do like me some grape, that's probably my favorite. I'm going to smash this down now, and we'll chat soon. When I get to the gym, we'll have a chat in the car and have some pre-workout before we head in and get some work done, baby. Looking forward to it. Let's go. Alright, baby, so I just got to the gym now, sitting in the car. It is very dark out. A bit later again than I would normally like to train, but things have been a little crazy lately, and we still got to make do. We still got to get the training in, so I am going to have my pre-workout now before I go and warm up. Again, Hercules Subs, I'm trying it out now, so I'll be sure to let you know how it goes. This is the Energy of the Gods Ultimate High Stim, and it's like super high in caffeine as well. It's got a fast release caffeine and a slow release caffeine. Total caffeine per serving, 400 milligrams. And what else we got here? Alpha GPC, beta alanine, of course, L-citrulline. You know, all the good stuff, man. This is going to be really good. A lot of stimulants. Going to get a good pump as well, as always. And we'll see what the flavor's like, though. You know, flavor isn't a big thing for me when it comes to pre-workout. It's always a bonus when it does taste good. But I drink pre-workout for the fucking buzz, man. Not for the flavor. However, great pre-workout. It's got a great Gatorade to wash it down. And remember, guys, like, you got a dry scoop. You know the rules. A dry scoop a day keeps the boys away from your bum. You know what I'm saying? Alright, let's do this without spilling it. That'll be fucking incredible. Scoop. Let's go. To be fair, that actually goes down a treat. Oh my, especially with the Gatorade combo. So I'll head in the gym in a sec. It is deadlift day, and we're starting with deficit deadlifts. Technically, this is week 4 of my current program, the Godkiller. Day 5. This is the last training session of week 4 before we move on to week 5. And you know, so far it's going really well. We've got what, 12 weeks left after this, and it's been a really nice start of a training program. Like, it's gone to plan, nothing crazy, being very successful, and that's all you can ask for. But before I do go in though, I couldn't help myself. You know, I like my strawberry donuts, so we'll smash this, we'll head in, we'll start warming up, and then we'll chat. But it's going to be a good sesh, guys. Let's go. Alright, baby, so we're in the gym now. We're going to start with 60 kilos, going to work my way up to, I think the plan for today would be to hit 260 kilograms, okay, for probably a few sets of 5 repetitions. I give myself an option on the last set of like a plus set, right? It's not that I have to do more, and it's definitely not like an AMRAP, not as many reps as possible. It might just be a couple of extra reps, just in case that first, 3 sets of 5 is not quite challenging enough. We do want a little bit of a challenge. And also just a little bit of fun, but without really costing me too much in terms of taxing myself, right? We need to be mindful of that. That's kind of the point. So I'm going to start warming up now, 60 kilos. We'll just make 40 kilo jumps each set until the top set. This is 10 kilograms up from my accessory movements from last week. So, it's not like I'm going backwards at all. Obviously last week I did a top single as well, but there's no top single this week, right? Because it's my down week. Next week there'll be that heavy work again. But this week, I've just increased the back down accessory work by 10 kilos. So it's still a progression in a sense, just without that taxing heavy single first. I'll start warming up now and we'll chat. Let's go. All right, baby, done 100 kilos just then, 220 pounds, 140 on the bar now, 308 pounds, cruising through the warm-ups. Definitely like a different vibe here at this gym. It's cool. It's definitely more old school than the commercial gyms I've been training at, but I don't mind, that gritty vibe. They've got a nice mix of new equipment as well, but they're the barbells, the plates. They're pretty old, the platforms are old, but a big part of me does love that shit. It feels more powerlifting, more hardcore. It feels more right sometimes, especially for the main movements, the barbell stuff. Fancy machines are nice for accessories, but you got to get down and gritty with it still, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll hit this now, and then we'll talk more specifics about this competition coming up, my deadlift plans, and a few other cool things. So that should be good, but I'm gonna hit this shit now. Let's get it. All right, baby, 4 plates on the bar, 180 kilos. We'll hit this warm up, then we'll sit down and chat for a bit. But I'm feeling really good. This is a lighter week for me. It's always a little harder psychologically to want to do these sessions because I know that I'm not really going to have a lot of fun or nothing wild, you know what I mean? But this is the discipline I was talking about earlier. If I don't have the discipline on these weeks, I'm not going to reach my goals. So it is what it is. Alright baby, so we have 220 kilos on the bar now. We're getting close to 500 pounds. Now something that I'm going to have to obviously do leading into competition is I'm going to have to get a deadlift suit. Now a deadlift suit's going to be kind of important if I want to compete, you know, with the best, right? The Giants Live World Deadlift Championship is an equipped competition. It's a strongman style competition, so multiply suits and straps are allowed. So if you don't wear them, you're only going to obviously set yourself back, right? You're giving everyone else who's already a tank, you know, an advantage. So that's one thing that I'm going to have to do. So I'm looking at getting a suit. I'm just trying to find, you know, what suit would be best for me. There's a lot that goes into it, and I don't know really much about it. So I'm just trying to source, you know, what would be the best suit for my body shape, for my body type, and my deadlifting technique to help me get the most out of it, right? And then when I get that suit, it's going to take me 4 to 8 weeks to actually get an idea of how to use it properly. It's going to be very uncomfortable to learn, and that's part of the process, right? It's a challenge, it's going to be frustrating, but I'll have to give myself time to learn how to use it if I want to be successful in it. Unfortunately, that's how it works. And that's also what makes the sport exciting. You get new challenges, right? New challenges, new opportunities. And I think that's really important when it comes to anything that you do. You need to be challenged. If you're not challenged, it's going to be very hard to find passion within what you're doing, because, man, we do thrive under pressure. And we have to create those high pressure situations, sometimes for ourselves, because the world today doesn't necessarily provide that for us. Everyone's a little bit sheltered. But it is what it is. I'm going to hit this now, 220 kilos, and then it'll be top set next. This is my final warm-up, just a 40 kilo jump to the top set. You know, it's a pretty cruisy weight for me, so I don't need to do too many warm-ups, and we've got a fair bit of volume to get through at that weight as well. That's no joke, to be honest with you. That's still 15 total reps at 260 kilos, so got to respect it for what it is. We'll get it now, baby. Let's go. Set one. Easy one. Let's go. Set one down. That's pretty easy, man. I'm gonna have like 4 to 5 minutes between sets. I'll keep the rest periods pretty short, right? But one thing I wanted to say is that although this is light, okay, I take pride in what I do, right? I take pride in my technique. It doesn't matter what it is. And you should be the same, okay? Now let me tell you something else. It's like you can spend hours and hours and months and years grinding away, trying to get bigger and stronger, right? And that's one way to get bigger and stronger, is just to get bigger and stronger. Another way to really help with that is to improve the way that you move. If you can improve your technique, become more efficient, you're gonna have a much easier time getting bigger and stronger. And that fucking helps, right? Because trust me, when you've been there, you're doing everything you can to get that little bit bigger, that little bit stronger. Sometimes just changing your technique, focusing on your movement, will help you break through those plateaus a lot of the time. So take pride in what you do, no matter what it is, whether you like it or you don't. If you think your technique sucks, it's not a joke. Get better, trust me. Just get fucking better. I'm gonna hit set 2 now. Let's go. Let's get it, buddy. Easy work. All right, baby, so 2 sets down, 1 more set to go. So we'll power through this set here, 260 kilos, and then I'm gonna move on to some hamstring curls and maybe some back extensions. We'll see how we feel, but technically this week, as I said, week 4 is a deload week, so there's a massive reduction in volume in the accessory movement. So if I'm not feeling those accessories, then it's all well and good if I just do the deadlifts and some hamstrings and go home. Because, you know, I've got bench press tomorrow morning as well with Big Vassar, biggest bench presser in Australian powerlifting. So that's going down tomorrow morning down at Base Gym. So he's gonna make me look like a bit of a bitch on the bench press, which won't be fun, but he's a big, strong guy, but it's okay. I've got him on the total. He's got me on the bench though, and a squat by a little bit, but I got him on the total. That's what counts, right? Doesn't really fucking matter. He's a tank, and it's gonna be a good session, and we'll probably have a smoko and chat some shit, but it'll be good. But we'll hit this now. If you're enjoying this, like this video, drop a comment and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Let's go. Five reps, 3 sets. I didn't have to do extra work because I took like 3 or 4 minutes between sets, so I'm kind of gassed, but I feel strong. Just gassed. We'll chat in a sec. So 3 sets of 5 deadlifts, deficit deadlifts, 260 kilos. Went really well. I'm happy with that. It's not heavy at all. I just dropped the recovery time down to make it more challenging, right? That's a little challenge I can bring to that session without it taxing me any further. But it was good. I feel good, and I'm definitely keen to lift heavy next week. I do prefer deadlifts to be heavy. I don't like my repetition work, but it's got to be done, baby. Got to do the honest work. But now we have a few sets of hamstrings. We'll take these very close to failure. Each set really stimulates some growth in the hamstrings without having to load my back like in the deadlift, right? Some real solid isolation work, because big, strong hamstrings are going to help my deadlift. They're going to help my lower back as well in terms of health moving forward as I get stronger. We'll hit this hard with intensity, and we'll catch up at the end of this session. We'll wrap it up, but hope you've enjoyed it, baby. I certainly have. Let's go. Set 2. Full stack for the last set. Why the fuck not? It's actually a really good hamstring machine. It's got a really nice smooth arc. A lot of hamstring machines, it feels a bit displaced when you are at full contraction, you kind of lose it. But this is actually fucking perfect. So one more big set, let's get it. That's a fucking deep burn, baby. Fuck me. That wraps up the fucking session, guys. That's a good one. That concludes week 4 of my Godkiller program. Now, if you want to train with me, sign up to the Cult Strength method at cultstrength.square.site. It's my online training and programming system, so you can use my program and train exactly like me. Well, there's 5 other options. You got power building, 3-lift powerlifting, single lift options, and you also get group Zoom calls. You get education, you get feedback and critique, you get better, you get stronger, and then you get more handsome as well, more like me. But that's available now. Head to my website. We have another group Zoom call coming up tomorrow, so if you want to chat with us, jump on, baby. It's going to be good. But thanks for watching. As I said, tomorrow big bench press session. I'm gonna go eat up now and get some rest in, so we can feel good tomorrow when we catch up with the big dog Vasa. He's a big boy. He's thick, super heavyweight powerlifter with, as I said, 280 kilogram competition 3-lift bench press in competition after squats. Bench pressing after squats is much different than doing bench press only. It's different altogether. It's gonna be good. So I hope you're there. I'm gonna be there. Until next time, you know what to do, baby. Go to the fucking gym. Let's go.